live from high atop the ACTV studios in Gettysburg. You're watching Race Night. Welcome, everyone. The date is August 27th, 2002. Yes, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Scott Hawkinsmith. Stacy Eastwood is off for this evening. I wasn't around last week, folks. I was in Myrtle Beach. As you can tell, I still got my shades on. Had a great time in Myrtle Beach, and I'm here to talk about all the great things that we did down there at Myrtle Beach this past weekend. We tried to take in a race. I said, try, folks. I drove 500 miles down to Myrtle Beach Speedway, and it rained. I ain't kidding you, folks. It rained. As soon as we got down there, we grabbed a bite to eat, pulled into Myrtle Beach Speedway, and caught the last three trailers just leaving the track. And the lady come out of the office and said, I'm sorry, folks. You'll have to come back 2 weeks from now. That ain't going to happen. So I didn't get a race. I didn't get to see the race at Myrtle Beach Speedway this year, maybe next year. But hey, we got a great show lined up for you tonight. We'll talk about some of the racing over the weekend, some of the racing that's going to happen this weekend, and boy, is it a doozy, big Labor Day weekend. But as always, first I'd like to thank my sponsors, Rick's Towing out of Biglerville and Davidson Motor Company right here in Gettysburg. Thank you, folks, for bringing us back here on Race Night one more time. Before we get started, I'd like to send out a special get well to Todd Schaefer. Todd suffered a knee injury on Friday night at Williams Grove Speedway. From the reports that I've got, he is scheduled for surgery sometime this week. Certainly is a shame to see Todd laid up, but we certainly do keep him in our prayers and wish him a speedy recovery. Let's see. We'll roll right into the results this weekend. And speaking of Williams Grove Speedway, the World of Outlaw 2 Series was up there, the Gumout Series. That was a 30-lap feature event paying $5,000 to win. And Greg Hodnett picked up that win. Lance Deweese second, Chris Eash third. Kreitz and Kaufman fourth and fifth. So much for the Gumout Series. Sorry, guys, you're in PA. Isn't going to happen. Let's see, where's the rest of my papers? I had them all together here, by the way. Trailway Speedway, Friday night. In the 250 micro sprints, Troy Groft picked up that feature win. Justin Mong, former figure 8 driver, picked up the feature in the street stocks. And Doug Devilbliss won the Thunder Cars at Trailway Speedway on Friday night. Now, it did rain out on Saturday night at Trailway Speedway. It did. Lincoln got theirs in, but there was a shower came through, and it must have hit just right because it dumped down in Gettysburg here, and it dumped down over at Trailways. Lincoln squeezed out, got their program in, and 25-lap feature winner, fast Freddie Raymer. Now, Fred was in a kind of an interesting position. He only had to make one lap in the feature to seal up the points championship again at Lincoln Speedway. So Fred Raymer will be crowned the 2002 410 Sprint champion at Lincoln Speedway this year. He sealed the deal by picking up the feature win.
Someone called and said Lance Deweese.
Someone called and said
Greg Hodnett won.
That was at Port Royal Speedway.
Yeah.
That was at Port Royal Speedway. I just got word from behind the scenes there that a caller called in, and the World of Outlaw 2 Series makeup feature at Port Royal Speedway on Saturday night, the winner was Lance Deweese. Friday night, Greg Hodnett at Williams Grove Speedway, according to all my papers I have here. But thanks for calling in and keeping, because sometimes we do get this thing screwed up. Believe it or not, we do screw up on some of this stuff. 358 sprints down at Lincoln Speedway. Eric Stanball just pretty much annihilated the field down there on Saturday night, won that thing hands down. And Steve Clayball out of Bonneville won the Thunder Cars. Good to see Steve back in victory lane in the Thunder Cars at Lincoln Speedway. Moving on to Port Royal. Super Sprint Championship, Greg Hodnett won the 30-lap event. Lance Deweese won the 30-lap rained makeup from back in April 27th. So that was two features going on there at Port Royal on Saturday night. Moving on to Silver Springs, Frankie Herr made I don't know if it was on the last lap. Of course, I wasn't up, but I got to talk to some of the people that were there and said Frankie made a heck of a move, thread the needle down the front stretch, I guess, to take the lead, and went on to win the 25-lap Super Sportsman feature at Silver Springs on Saturday night. Jeff Leapart won the limited late models. 358 championship at Selinsgrove Speedway on Saturday night. Chad Layton, 30 laps for the winner. And that's pretty much what happened this past weekend. This coming weekend, now, folks, if you cannot, unless it's raining, you cannot sit around and say there's nothing to do this weekend. Labor Day weekend. Starting off Friday night, triple 20s at Williams Grove Speedway, plus the vintage cars. That's the triple 20 feature. I'm not sure. I think they pay like $25, $25, and $5,000 to win, if I remember correctly, somewhere along that line. Could be wrong with that, but it's 3 20-lap features at Williams Grove, plus the vintage cars will be there. Trailway Speedway Friday night will be in action with the 250 micros, the Thunder cars, and the street stocks. Then you move to Saturday night. Trailway Speedway back in action, figure 8 car championship, 600 micros, the scrambler cars, and one of my favorite divisions to watch is the junk car race. If you haven't seen a junk car race, boy, you're missing it. That's always a lot of fun at Trailway Speedway. Lincoln Speedway, Saturday night, holding the 8th annual Bobby Abel Memorial. That'll be for the 410 sprint cars. 358s will be in action. Legend cars will be there, and they're having a fireworks show during the evening. That's all happening Saturday at Lincoln Speedway. Also, one other thing, a couple weeks ago we had Dan the Kid Shetler on, and they got a hold of me Monday night and said, hey, look, we'd like to have another Shetler shindig this Saturday night at Lincoln Speedway after the races. So anybody out there at Lincoln Speedway on your way out of the track, swing down through the parking lot, look for some lights. You'll definitely see them. Stop by the Shetler, Dan Shetler. Of course, he drives a 7K 410 sprint car. They'd like to thank all the fans, track personnel, and everybody. This will be the final one of the season. They'd just like to show their appreciation for all the fans and the people there at the track for showing up every weekend and letting them come out and play. It's always a great time. They'll have some giveaways, and stop by and get yourself a hot dog or a plate of food or something. Always a great time down there at the parking lot. That's happening at Lincoln Speedway on Saturday night after the Bobby Abel Memorial fireworks and all that stuff's over with. Also on Saturday night, Silver Springs 50th anniversary race. Now here's another cool deal. I'll give it to Alan Kreitzer to come up with this one. Super Sportsman, late models, street stocks. Features only for everybody. If it takes 3 features to get all the Super Sportsman's run, that's what's going to happen. If it takes 2 features for the street stocks, because there's cars up there, that's what's going to happen. Same way with the late models. However many, I guess they're starting 24, I guess. I don't know. Or they're going to divide it up. Not sure how the program's going to work. No qualifying. Don't know how they're going to line them up. But anybody that shows up is going to run a feature. And it's going to run a full feature. So what a perfect deal they got going up there. That's Silver Spring Speedway on Saturday night. Selinsgrove Speedway, 7 divisions in 4 nights. Here it is, Labor Day weekend. What can you expect? Friday and Sunday, they'll be running the go-karts and the micro sprints. Saturday, they'll be running 358s, late models, pro stocks, road runners, and the vintage cars that ran at Williams Grove on Friday night will be moving to Selinsgrove on Saturday night. Let's see. Where was that? Monday rolls around. There'll be the 410 sprint cars in action and the Super Sportsmans. Sunday at Susquehanna, the 410s, plus 4 cylinders and an Enduro race. Monday at Port Royal will be the 52nd annual Labor Day Classic, 410 sprint cars and pro stocks. Folks, if you can't find something to do this weekend, weather permitting, and we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. I've been hearing some tales about rain, but I think it'll be here and gone by the weekend, I hope. Hey, there's plenty to do here, no doubt about it. This coming Labor Day weekend. Okay, I've talked enough. Time to get on to our guests here in the studio this evening. Speaking of the micro drivers, or micro sprint division, out of Westminster, Maryland, driver of the 99 250 micro sprint. You can see him in action regularly at the Trailway Speedway, Mr. Brad McClellan. Brad, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
Okay, and next to you is your son, Tim.
Yep.
And I asked him if he was a crew chief when he came in. He said, "No, he's not really. I'm just a helper."
No, he's just a helper.
I'm just a helper.
He just don't want to mess nothing up, I don't believe.
Well, what do you help out with, Tim? What do you do?
I push the micros around, and I work there to help with the 250s.
Well, that's cool. So you're okay. I think I don't recognize you because you don't have your helmet on. You're always running the quad up there, and
Yeah.
okay. Now, yep. I never saw you without your helmet on, or if I did, I never associated who you were. Yeah, you do a heck of a job up there. Brad McClellan, third place finisher Friday night at Trailway Speedway. But more importantly, you're up 17 points from Terry Schaefer, which is your second place in points right now. Terry Schaefer is in second place. You're up by 17 points. Current point leader at Trailway Speedway. Are you going to be able to hold on for the rest of the year?
It's pretty tough. There's only 1 point. 1 point is split every spot when you're finishing the heats and features. So if you have mechanical problems, it can set you back, and he could get me back within one night. We have I think 4 or 5 more point races left. Hopefully it might rain out a couple of them with me leading. I don't want it to rain really, but if it rains out, keeps me a little bit header for another week. Right,
gives you that little bit of grace period. We were talking about the points system and the way it was structured and everything, and is there another double points race left by the end of the year?
No,
I'm not sure.
They used to have double points the last race, and that was really, a killer on some people, and it would help other people. But no, it's just a regular shows from here on out.
Right. As I said before, you'd run the number 99. In fact, Matt, could we get a zoom in here on a picture so some of the folks out there in the audience can see what a cool looking car this is to begin with, and also maybe associate a little bit. There you go. Okay. Thank you for the picture. We'll put this up on the backdrop. Do appreciate that. You started off, we're going to talk a little bit about your racing past. You told me you started off in motocross at Trailways.
Yeah, I got into it when I was younger, trail riding and stuff like that, and ended up getting into competition whenever they raced, and sure, I beat up, banged around a little bit, and parents said, "Hey, why don't we stick you in something that's in a roll cage and with seatbelts, and a couple good friends of mine got into the micros, and I followed them.
Had your parents been into racing before? Or did you kind of spring this on them when you started screwing around with your dirt bikes?
No, my dad's always been a racer. He raced late models for years.
Okay.
At Lincoln and Williams Grove, and the area tracks around here, and so I've been a racer pretty much all my life.
Okay. And of course, he raced late models. Being out of Westminster, Maryland, that is now you're getting closer to late model territory down there.
Yeah.
What possessed you to get into a micro sprint instead
actually,
of getting talked into a Thunder Car or a late model or something?
Being familiar with the engines that we run on the micro sprints are same as what they use on a motocross bike.
Okay.
So it was like, well, we were really familiar with the engines and thought this ought to be cool. You sit behind it and have a steering wheel, but have the same kind of motor.
Have the same kind.
Sort of could relate with that part of it.
That makes sense. Do you remember seeing your first race? There's one I'll spring on you.
I know where I raced the first time.
Okay.
But, it was Pass Valley. Actually, I drove somebody else's car. I don't know if that's what you're...
No, that'll work.
you know, I run, Steve Owings, a friend of mine who got me into it. He really wasn't doing too much, and he says, man, why don't you give it a try? And then I was addicted ever since, you know. Went to Path Valley and raced, and then we came to Trailways the next night and the next day, and he says, here, you can try it again. And then I tore his car up, so
Uh-oh.
I had to get my own car then after that.
He didn't invite you back then.
No, not quite.
Jeez. What a guy. What a guy. Now, you're involved with some people, and you have set up a dealership for chassis. Let's talk that up a while.
I have my own business on the side. It's called B&M Racing Products. We sell the micro chassis for a guy out of California named PMP Chassis. Work on the engines, service them, sell them, help people at the track as much as I can, plus try to race myself. You know, that's a hard thing to do,
Right.
is to do all that, you know. And so in the evenings when I get home from my regular job, I'm constantly with this kind of work habit as far as working on the motors, working with the chassis, talking to people, trying to sell things to make money to pay for some of my racing.
Right. How did you ever get hooked up with an outfit out of California to sell stuff?
Well, the guy that builds most all the motors for all the micros is out of California, and he got me hooked up with this guy here and said, listen, if you want to win a lot of races, you know, you ought to try one of these cars. And called him up and said, hey, you know, I was interested in buying a car. What can you do for me? And ended up just getting a car actually just to race, then ended up saying, hey, maybe we can sell some of these things back here for you.
Right. And that is, of course, the PMP chassis.
Yes.
You talked about motors. Now, these guys build motors out west and ship them east? Is that right?
Yeah, there's some engine builders around here, but they definitely don't have the money backing to keep up with stuff on the shelf like the guy in California. His name's Eddie Sanders. It's Eddie Sanders Racing, ESR. It's familiar. A lot of people are familiar with that, saying ESR. He specializes in just nothing but micro engines because these micros are very popular around the country. People don't know about it. I mean, some tracks get, on average, 30 cars a night. There are some tracks that get 100 cars a night because they have a couple different divisions of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's plenty of things to go around, just like go-kart racing. If you got one, you got 20, you know. They're everywhere. It's a good stepping stone for younger people. I mean, you don't even have to be young. You know, it's a good stepping stone to get your feet wet into some kind of racing like this if you ever want to lead up to like sprint cars and stuff. You know, it's basically the same kind of car except scaled down.
Are you going to use it as a stepping stone or what?
I've been trying, but that's a big step. I don't know, that stone's pretty big for me right now to step up any higher. But you know, it's just like anything else. It's money. You know, it's a money issue, and you know, I think I can do it. You know, and it's not that people don't want to help you because they don't think you want to do it. It's a lot for sponsors to put out money like that. You know, and trying to do it on myself, I want to do it right. You know,
right.
You know, a lot of people have the heart and the desire to go out there and race every week, and just because they're out there, they're having fun. And I mean, I used to be like that, but since racing so long, I would want to get out there and try to run with the big guys.
Right, be competitive.
Yep.
Now you're talking 358?
I don't know.
410? What?
I mean, you know,
late model? I don't know.
I'd like to go to the 410. I mean, anybody in a sprint car desire, that's what they would want to run. You know, I mean, that's the top of the line right there. I mean, you know, if it takes to get into 358s first and then get into 410s, that's fine. You know, whatever. As long as I just got to make that big step.
334 3000 is the number, folks. We have Brad McClellan on deck and Tim McClellan, his son, the helper, but not a crew chief. What do you think about racing? You want to get behind the wheel someday?
Yeah. I'm just getting into it
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit. I'm just moving up and up more.
Any plans for micros, or you want to start off in go-karts, or
I just want to start at micro.
start off in micros? You got to be, what do you got to be, 14 down there?
I think it's 14.
so.
I think it's
Yeah.
14.
14. How close are you to 14?
I'm 11.
Okay,
Yep. So he's got a couple more years.
okay.
So, but like the thing I'm doing now, it's good for me for right now.
Sure. Just being around it, getting exposed to it, helping out, dad teaching you
Yep.
little bits here and there. Good deal. Hang in there, buddy. one of the racers of the future. What do you do in your time off? Now, I know you
I knew you was
just
gonna
got done
ask me
saying
that.
that
I
you
knew
did
you-
all this. You got any down? What would you enjoy if you had some downtime?
The whole drive here, I was trying to think of that because I knew you was going to ask me that. And I
How
can't,
did you know that? You can't get this down in Westminster.
I can't even tell you what I would do. I mean, this is all I do. And I mean, vacation time comes around for my family. They always want to go away and do things. It's like, man, I can't get away. I'm just, I love it so much, I guess, is what it is. And, you get into a routine, every weekend you have to go to the races and because I want to, but then
Right.
during the week, having a business really ties me down a lot.
Right. But if you enjoy it, then that's
right. Yep.
if it's your way to wind down from your
Yep.
regular. What do you do for a regular
I
job?
work for my dad during the day. We work on big trucks, dump trucks, tractor and trailers, welding, fabricating, stuff like that.
Wow, the heavy stuff.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. You race Friday nights at Trailways, of course. Do you race anywhere Saturday nights, or is it a one?
Saturdays we try to get around. Mainly we go to Shippensburg just because it's close.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice little fun track. That's called a bull ring for us.
Mm-hmm.
And you can learn a lot on a small track, and a lot of these guys only run one night a week, and I like running 2 nights a week. It keeps you up on the next Friday,
Okay.
of the week and keeps you on your toes as much as you can run like that. We try to get to other tracks. We went as far away as Marion Center this year, which is like 4 hours western Pennsylvania. Almost close to New York we went to, but long hour drives, we all have jobs on Monday, so
Right.
traveling is definitely an issue when you want to travel on Saturday nights to go to any other tracks. It's pretty far away.
Right. Now, this area, of course, is known for its 410 sprint, even its 358s sprint car, how tough it is around here. Does the same hold true for the 250s, or is another area of the country that might be a little bit more stout in that
No.
division?
No, this is definitely it. The 250s are fading somewhat across the country. Everywhere else, they're bringing in the 600 micros, which is a little bit bigger scaled micro sprint. It's a 600 cc engine versus our 250s, but the 250's been around so long, and they have car counts up, so I guess that's why the tracks really keep them around here. But this is definitely this area around here, Linda Speedway, Path Valley, Trailways, Lanco. They're all the big name tracks, and if somebody can even come out from anywhere else around it and do good at those tracks, they're pretty good.
They're considered
Yep.
top notch. Great. That's good to hear that this area holds that reputation for the micros as well. You talked about the 600s. What do you think about the 600 division? I know they kind of Trailways brought them in 3 years ago maybe, and 2 years
Yeah.
ago, and there might have been 4 cars running.
Yeah, they're getting there. They need people like me to get into that class so I can sort of guide some people in the right direction and and give them a helping hand. Say, look, you need to do this, or don't do that. But I just haven't gotten into it because of the payout, and that's because they don't have the car count. But it's a whole different brand of engine to step into, and when you're doing something good and you're at your top of your game, it's I'd rather go and step into a bigger class myself. But the 600s, it's all right. They're pretty fast. They're about the same speed as we are. A little bit more cost efficiency, they're saying, because of the motor wear and tear and stuff like that. But there's really not a lot of used cars out there yet for people to come along and buy. Basically now you have to buy a brand new car,
Right.
which is a big step for people
Right.
wanting to get into that class.
Right.
And it's going to take a couple of years to build it till they get used cars, and then they dwindle down through and let people pick up one pretty reasonable price.
Makes sense. They've always said that the initial outlay was pretty expensive,
Yeah.
even for just the motor itself.
Yes.
But the money that, like you said, the money that you have to spend throughout the year isn't quite as much. Explain that a little bit. Maybe how much, not dollar wise, but how many times you got to pull your 250 apart?
Well, that's just it. That's why they're saying the 600s is a better class, because the 250s definitely is a lot of maintenance to them, is keeping the motors fresh if you want to be competitive. You don't have to, but if, being on a competitive level, you should be tearing the motors apart probably 2 to 3 races.
Wow.
and that's time away from your family. That's money out of your pocket, where you maybe can get a 600 and run the same engine and not have to rebuild it all year either. That's right there is the two big issues between the two classes.
So the 250s, you're talking, what, swapping out cylinders and
Cylinders,
pistons?
pistons, yes. These motors aren't designed to do what we are doing with them. I mean, the guy had thought this up. I mean, it's cool for the power and stuff, but we torture these engines that are wide open like we do. I mean, it's a motocross motor, which is, you shift gears, you're on and off the gas. These things are run wide open for 20 laps sometimes at a time, and you race a couple nights a week. That's hard on a motor, so
Right.
you definitely got to maintain them.
Of course, you're running nitro in these things.
Yeah, that's what everybody thinks. When you're winning, everybody thinks everybody does, but
Right.
that's just harder on the motor yet. Some people, can do that and not have to worry about a conscience, but of course, they say in any division, you're cheating
Right.
and stuff like that. But
I just thought I'd bring that up. Tell you what, we queued up here for commercial yet or not? Or you want me to keep going? Looks like they might be working on something back there a little bit, so we're just going to keep on rolling. How many wins you got to your credit in the 250s now?
1999, I turned 100 wins over. Haven't kept up with it since then. This year I got 12 wins so far this year. Last year I never won a race, and that was a big thing in my career as far as every year since I've ran micros, I've at least won a race, and last year was a dry spell. So,
Wow.
And I didn't race the whole year. I raced a couple different
Yeah, we're not sure.
chassis as far as other people's cars, and didn't really have a consistent
Just hang tight.
ride. So, that hurts that part of it.
Okay. Not sure what was
We're not new.
happening there. Are we out?
ACTV race night.
Are we out on the air or not? Might be experiencing a little technical difficulties. See, this is a problem, folks. If anybody's getting this right now, we have our monitors here in the studio that's showing what's happening, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's getting out to the cable company, which we certainly hope it is. And it's keep going. Let's talk about that dry spell until maybe we see what's going on here. What do you attribute it to?
Just not being able to set the car up the way I like it. Not being able to have the car at my shop all the time and working on it. I like certain things, and you show up at the track, or you're trying not to cost the whoever you're driving for a lot of money, so you just run with what you got, and I'm maybe call it spoiled a little bit. You know what I mean? But
Right.
with having newer tires on the car or something like that, and people want to run a budget, but they know that, and I know that, so that's all that matters. I mean, as far as if that's all we got to work with, that's what we'll do.
Right. Of course, Jeff Gordon. That was one thing I forgot to announce. Jeff Gordon broke his dry spell of 40 couple or something races on Saturday night. I didn't get to see any of it because I didn't get back from Lincoln in time. But I did hear old buddy Jimmy Spencer got cordially invited into the big red trailer again. You gotta love him. You gotta love him. I guess we'll keep going here. Yes, no, maybe? Help us out here.
No,
Everything okay though? We're still,
no, not really.
we're not out in the air at all?
No, but keep going. Keep going for the Adelphia.
Uh-oh.
Keep recording for the power show tape.
Okay. We're going to do that. We're still experiencing technical difficulties, but
Yes.
we're going to keep going with this show,
Yeah, we know,
and hopefully we'll come back up with this. see, where were we at here? This has got me all screwed up. I hate when this stuff happens. I really do. Let's talk about your sponsors. Let's do that.
Main sponsor this year is Champion Chevrolet.
I'll even help you out, and I'll give you the picture
There
because
you
I saw you have a bunch of them, and
Champion Chevrolet is, first of all, I'd like to start off with is I drive for Sandy and Joe Trone out of Hanover. It's their car, their sponsors. As far as that, they brought them along. They've been with them for a long time, and hopefully I'm doing a good enough job to keep them, so they can keep that sponsorship going from year to year. But B&D Truck Hoist, Baird Heating and Cooling out of Littlestown, PMP Chassis, like I say, B&M Racing Products, Eureka Lubricants, everything. It's anybody, any kind of help, it helps, you know what I mean? It's whether it's from products to money, or for lending a helping hand, it's worth it.
there was we had some guys on the show. This was a while back that thanked the dry cleaners for cleaning their suits for them.
Sure. Sure.
And so when you say any little bit helps, I'm sure that is, and I would have never thought of that.
You're right.
Right,
yeah.
But
it adds up.
But any of that stuff adds up because I never talked to anybody about that. How do you wash your suit? What do you do with a suit? I mean, you're out there and you're running and it gets all dirty and hogged up. These things are expensive.
That's why I got a wife for.
Okay, your wife does your laundry.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. We got the thumbs up sign. Folks, we are back live on the air. We just kept running with this program because I wasn't sure when it was going to come back on. So I'm going to kind of go back over and be a little redundant on some of the stuff we talked about just so the viewers can get a chance to hear what we were talking about. I asked you, I said, how many wins have you had now since you've been racing the 250s?
I don't know. It's probably about around 120, I'd say, if I had a wild guess. We had it in 1999. Like I said, we had it up to we turned over 100 wins, and I stopped counting after that. That was a goal, and at various tracks. It ain't like it's the same track all the time. I've been around to a lot of different tracks, won a lot of different tracks as far as that, and after that, 2000, I cut back on racing a little bit. 2001 was really cut back. And like we said, it was a dry spell for me. I ran a couple different people's cars. They get fortunate enough to get a ride and keep out there and keep up with things. As if you're not out there or being at the track, one thing, but being out on the track and racing with the competition, you know where you stand and what you got to do. And we got off to a pretty good start this season. But I think if I had a full time racing operation, it would have made me better already this year because I've been getting better throughout the season here. And look out next year, if I do this for next year or whatever I do, just that much better you can be at.
Right. Now, how close are these? Now, you said they're pretty similar to a full-size sprint car. Are they more? Do I want to say because they're smaller? Does a little change make a big difference?
Yes, it's very big.
I guess what I'm leading up to is you can get one of these jacked out of shape pretty quick, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the hard part about this kind of racing. We don't have 700 horsepower to correct ourselves. It's basically like a go-kart. You got to be smooth and straight in a sense, not to kill the power. We have one piston, one cylinder. They have 8.
Right.
So you got to finesse it a little bit more. And as far as back to the size, we run basically the same size shocks. The wing might look small to some people, but it actually ain't a big difference. It is smaller, but as far as square footage, it's not. It's probably half the size, maybe. But the same brand of tires that these guys run, and the same compounds. It's just smaller tires. Torsion bars is the suspension. Some people have coilover springs. It's very similar.
Of course, this is a torsion bar car.
Yep.
Is that obviously the preferred chassis for PMP?
Yeah.
Or can you get either or?
You can get either or, I guess you could say. The torsion bar is more forgiving for a driver, and it's pretty much consistent as far as setting it up. So they try to make this as far as for people that are beginners, so it's easy,
Oh,
so they
okay.
can get in it and go out and make laps and don't have to chase it.
Right. Championships.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any championships? And,
Yeah.
And where at?
I guess just Trailways. You got me off guard on this one here. I think I've got 3 or 4 at Trailways so far, track championships, but I never really ran at much other tracks every race, and you got to be at
there.
every race, and I like jumping around in the past on Saturday nights, and Trailways has always been my Friday night track, so when you jump around like that, you're definitely not in the point hunt.
Yeah, no doubt. Of course, the Coors National Open will be coming up, I guess, at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly the date on that. I don't know.
It's October 5th, I think.
Is that what it is?
I think that's what it is.
Let me look through my schedules here. Make sure I got the right schedule. I was looking at 2001 today. That would put the date off by about a day. You're correct. October the 5th, 13th annual Coors National Open Kevin Gobrecht Memorial. That always draws a good many cars up there. For the
Yeah,
250s.
it brings all the guys from the other tracks. Usually these tracks are pretty good at working together and put all their big races, so they can get all the cars too, So it brings the big guys into it, Trailways. And, it used to be a day race, which really wasn't, good for the regulars there. It made it an even deal because it was a day race, and, we're not used to running at the daytime tracks. So
Right.
a lot of those guys come in, squeaked off some wins, and now they've set it back to nighttime. It's sort of, we got a little bit of advantage being there.
Right. Did you ever win the National Open?
Yeah, but I've never won what's called the Kevin Gobrecht Memorial, and I'd like to win that. Just because that's what it's named after
Right.
him. I would like to win that once. I've won it, I think 2 or 3 times, and being named that, I would like to take the trophy home with his name on it.
Right. I look back on Trailways' website, and it only went back 2 years. And I see you haven't had a championship in the past 2 years up there.
No.
When was your last one up there?
We had one in 96, 97, I think 99.
Okay. Like I said, it only went back 2 years. And that's another thing that stinks, is it's hard to find stuff about you guys, and even some of the Thunder Car guys in different divisions on the computer. We got plenty of people watching the show out here, and we need somebody to come up with a website or something.
Well, we do have a
some
website.
statistics. Oh, you do have a website?
There's 2 different websites for micros. It's microracing.com.
Okay.
Greg Bird on Dirt. They cover everything as far as Greg Bird on Dirt covers all the results, has the tracks,
Greg
schedules.
Burt
Yep.
on Dirt.
Yep.
Okay. Well, this is good. I need to know this kind of stuff.
Yep.
And the folks out there also. So you can log on to these sites and get results and all kinds of
message boards. I mean, you can get on there and talk and ask questions if you're learning to get into the sport. Get on there and look, just get on there and ask people, how do I get started into this class? And I'm sure somebody will reply.
We're going to get into that now that we're back on the air, folks. Thanks for holding by there. We had a little trouble with, I guess, the signal between us and Adelphia, from what I'm understanding right now. Everything should be straightened back out now. So what we're going to do is we're going to break for a commercial now. Going to run them, and since Brad was talking about getting into it, we're going to ask him a couple questions for the youngsters out there maybe thinking about getting into 250 micro sprint racing, what his thoughts are on it. So stay tuned right after this short commercial message, and we'll be right back. And in other action this past weekend, the 358s. Boy, what a race that was. We had
Oh, yeah.
Did you see him?
I'm gonna cut him off low.
I'm gonna take him on the high side. Let's just dust him.
Yeah.
All right. Fred! Fred! Come here!
we got a phone call. Race. Welcome to Race Night. You're on the air.
Rudisill Screen Printing and Embroidery. Rudisill's in-house graphic artists and embroidery designers can put your name or logo on tees, sweats, caps, jackets, team uniforms, whatever you need. Open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, located in Gettysburg at 223 Chambersburg Street, or our new location in Hanover at 1204 High Street. Rudisill Screen Printing and Embroidery. Custom work at affordable prices. Can-D Auto Body, located at 83 East Hanover Street, Gettysburg. With over 40 years collective experience in state-of-the-art frame and paint work, Can-D offers free computerized estimates, guaranteed color matching, glass replacement, and collision repair on all makes and models. All of our work has a written lifetime warranty. We even provide free towing, pickup, and delivery if needed. Can-D Auto Body, where excellence is guaranteed.
Just Jennifer Gallery has very cool stuff. Just Jennifer Gallery, located on 33 York Street in downtown Gettysburg. Just Jennifer Galleries has a wide selection of pottery, hand-blown glass, candles, and handcrafted silver jewelry from around the world. You can also find accent pieces for the home, antiques, rugs, and great gift ideas. Just Jennifer's represents over 40 artists, such as world-renowned Harley-Davidson artists Scott Jacobs and David Ewell, as well as Native American artist Raymond Yarbaugh of Santa Fe, New Mexico. Stop by Just Jennifer's on the first Friday of every month for First Friday, Gettysburg style. A new artist is featured every month and refreshments are served. Just Jennifer's. Very cool stuff, great prices.
Adelphia PowerLink, it's life wide open.
Fluoride, chlorine. How do these fit into H2O? They don't. Roaring Spring bottled water contains only what nature intended, providing a safe and pure resource. Conveniently located on Route 116 off of Route 15, Roaring Spring offers a wide selection of bottle sizes, cooler styles, softening salts, and filters. Our certified representatives can find the product that's perfect for your home or office. Stop by or call today. The best that nature has to offer, from Roaring Spring to you.
You know, when I was a young man, riding a Harley-Davidson motorcycle, oh, that's all I could think of. I mean, that open road, that rumbling engine, the wind in my face. Now I never got it. I spent the money on aluminum siding instead.
Let's go see what Grandma's doing.
We are back live here on Race Night. In the studio with me is Brad McClellan and Tim McClellan, if you're just tuning in. We did have a little technical difficulties here in about the middle of the show. Had a small problem with the signal going out, but hey, I'm getting a thumbs up sign, so if you're watching me, that's a good thing because we're still going here on Race Night. Sometimes you have problems throughout the night, and you get them worked through, and you still come out on top at the end. You got to keep going, especially in racing. There was one night we come in here, though, and nothing was working. It was one of those nights where I said, if you got the hood off before warm-ups, you're in trouble. That's where we were at. So it's a good thing we're back on the air here. Before we went to break, we were talking a little bit about, you said about people getting into the sport, but micro sprint racing, and how the torsion bar suspension is a little bit more forgiving along that line. There's some youngsters out there watching, or maybe even some older youngsters out there watching, thinking, you know, maybe I'm getting pretty close. I think I might go out and get myself a micro. Give them some advice. I mean, you've been at it for such a long time. Help them out here a little bit.
Don't buy the first thing you see. You know, it's just like anything else. You got to go out and main thing is get to the track and see go to the track. I've had guys before they seen it in a area, auto locator or seen it in a race paper and it's, I got money, I want to go buy this, and then they just bought somebody else's problems. Either get a hold of somebody that makes the cars or come to the track and ask. Even the other racers will tell you, what you got to do. I mean, it's a pretty good group of guys that you can go up down through the pits, just ask anybody, and they're going to lead you in the right direction, I believe.
Okay. Don't take one person's word for it, and don't buy the first thing you see. Is that?
Yeah, get around, see what's, you don't always have to buy the fastest car or whatever's winning to get started. Just spend your money wisely as far as when you're going to do it. And I've gotten some guys that come out of go-karts this past month, and probably about 3 guys getting into it right out of the go-karts. And the one boy, he raced for his first feature this week and got 11th place. I mean, wow. He was pretty tickled. They thought it was a lot harder. I mean, it's hard work, and it's hard to get to be consistent at it. But I mean, pretty much, you don't have to be no mastermind behind the wheel. And as far as getting out there running and having a little bit of fun. Right.
General ballpark. Now, I normally don't talk about money, but being that this is a starter up, or we're talking about starting up, in case somebody's out there really listening to what you're saying, how much should they expect to spend on a decent, reliable?
Anywhere
$250.
Around from $4,000 to $6,000 for a used car. Complete race ready. Get onto the track. I mean, that might sound a lot to a lot of people, but you can't do too much, anymore for that kind of money. I mean, even go-karts have gotten into a high-price league, and this here at least you get money back out of it,
Right.
But, you win money at it. It's not just a trophy thing. You get a little bit of money out of it, but keeps people out of trouble too.
Provided that I don't go out and tear this thing up on a weekly basis, what should I anticipate the budget if I want to run weekly? How much is it going to cost me to get back to the track next week, provided that I don't rip a whole bunch of stuff up?
If you don't, and you got everything, and you don't need to really keep updating it or whatever, you're talking around $100.
Okay.
Something like that for your fuel and
right.
your oil and tear-offs. You're going to have little things wearing out here and there. Knick-knack things.
Right.
Somewhere around $100. I'd say it'd be safe thing.
Pretty much safe for budgeting that. There you go, folks. Anybody interested in the 250 micros? That'll get you pretty much in the ballpark along that line. Motorama, I got that marked down. Do you race at Harrisburg?
I went 2 times.
2 times?
Yeah, I think that was enough for me. I mean, it's a luck of the draw. You got to start up front. It's small tracks like that. You can go up there and either you can be the fastest car, but still look the worst. I mean, it's just tear up a lot of equipment. It's fun. It's sort of gives the micro division a bad rep because it's a lot smaller for what these cars, the speed that we can really
get up to. From what they're capable of.
Yes. So it really makes it, people go there to Motorama. It's a good thing, a weekend type thing to get out and watch and, look at it. But it's nothing like being out on a bigger track.
Right. Of course, folks, we're talking about Motorama in Harrisburg, which is generally run around mid-February at the Harrisburg Farm Show Arena. I should have made mention of that. So people know what you're talking about, and it is an indoor arena. It's small, it's tight.
It's supposed to be bigger next year. This year coming, they're supposed to have it finished, what they're adding on up there, and it's going to be a bigger arena where they're going to race them. That's what I was told by the.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I haven't been up past, but there's supposed to be a huge building going up over there. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. I'm sure there'll be big changes at the Harrisburg Farm Show Arena this year. Have you raced motocross over there?
Yeah, I did that one time, and that was enough too.
You're not a big indoor type of guy, right?
No, it's just you get tore up quick, and you got to watch the money if you want to be back next week or doing things. And I mean, it's fun. You go do it once. It's just like going on vacation somewhere. You go there once, that's enough. It's fun, but I'd rather go watch.
Right. How many do you just take one car to the track, or you take 2? We were talking a little bit before the show, and I wasn't quite sure.
Just one. I had a 2-car team before. Has You know, usually a lot of people say 2 heads is better than 1, but when you have 2 cars, you know, 2 different people driving, and then you got to have a crew member for each car at least. You know, it's not really, wasn't really a big money issue. It's just you all got to get along, and you know, it's hard to do that. And then one car maybe getting this new part this week, and another car getting this new part that week, and it's pretty tough with a 2-car team. And I sort of want to stay away from that. You know, it brings both cars down in a sense. You know what I'm saying? As far as
That's interesting.
you know, I mean, you think it does. You know, like the NASCAR stuff, you know, it makes it better and everybody can learn off each other. But that's not in our case. It's not like that.
What do you think about since you're not a big arena guy, what do you think about the improvements at Trailways as far as being wider, and a little bit longer? Did it help you help the 250s out at all, or didn't make a difference?
Yeah, yes, it did. It's still, you know, everybody fights for the bottom groove on the track, just like anywhere else. You know, I mean, in a lot of smaller division racing, you know, shortest way is the fastest way around, they say, but. Coming out of the corners and going into the corners, it's the walls are moved back. You can get a bigger run. It's more momentum. We're definitely running faster times there than ever, you know. And the track's actually bigger, but we're running faster times. You know, if that makes sense to a lot of people out there. But you'd think it would be a slower lap time, you know, because it's actually a bigger radius, but carrying a lot more speed.
You guys run rev limiters on these things also?
No, 600s do.
Oh, the 600s do?
Yeah, to the floor.
Just as much as it'll go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Gearing, of course, I would imagine plays a big.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people's questions is, well, how fast that thing go? You know, it's like, well, you can gear it to whatever. I mean, there's been some half-mile tracks we've been on up to 120 mile an hour. That Trailways average speed's like 70 something's average, so you know it's pretty fast. I mean, so we get around there in 16 seconds. You know, and then like we go over to Lincoln, and it's only 17 seconds at Lincoln, so that's pretty fast for us there too.
Do you like? What do you think about Lincoln running a little larger track?
It's pretty big. It's good for people to get their feet wet into it because there's a lot more room to race.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it looks smaller compared to the other divisions there. I mean, slower than the other divisions, but actually we're carrying more corner speed than the other classes, in my opinion. You know, we don't have the horsepower down the straightaway, but going through the corners, it's a lot faster. You can really feel the G-force of the car.
Wow, and you're only a few inches off the ground.
Yeah, that makes it faster yet. Seem faster yet.
Okay, we got a call. Let's see what's up. Hi, welcome to Race Night. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hi.
This is Steve.
Hi, Steve.
How's it going?
Hey, pretty good.
So what have you guys been doing tonight?
Talk a little bit about racing.
I was just calling in, talk about racing with you guys. What's the subject tonight?
250 micros.
I'm more of a late model man myself.
Oh, okay. Where do you watch your late models at?
Yeah, Silver Springs.
Hey, that's a great track to watch your late models. You going up there this weekend?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got the features only up there.
Yep.
Yeah, the limited lates always put on a great show over there at the Springs.
Yep, I help out on the Charles Potts crew.
Oh, okay.
Got our first win a couple weeks ago.
Yep, I remember reading that.
Yep, his rookie year.
That's great.
I just want to call in and basically just say that, promote my buddy, and you guys have a good night.
Okay.
You take care.
Okay, thanks for calling us right here on Race Night.
Bye.
Okay. I can't see. What? They're back there giving me hand signals. And the lights are in my... Let me put my sunglasses back on. Maybe that'll help. There we go. Okay. Okay, we'll take it. They were saying 1 minute to go. So we're going to get off here. Thank you very much, Brad and Tim, for coming on Race Night here with us. Got to apologize for a little bit of technical difficulties there in the middle, but hey, we have it on tape, and we will rerun this program tomorrow. I'm not sure what time. I don't know. Tomorrow it'll be run again. Generally on Wednesdays they'll rerun this program. So we'll get all the stuff that we talked about during the short break. Because, be frank with you, I don't remember exactly some of the topics we talked about, and I don't want any of these people to miss it. But hey, thank you very much.
No problem.
Good luck
Yep.
on holding on to that points lead
Sure.
this year. We certainly wish you the best.
Yep.
Hang in there for a couple more races. You got a 17-point advantage right now. Try and make that thing grow here the next couple weeks.
I'll
And
try.
that way you can kick back and relax a little bit towards the
yeah.
end of the year.
I'll try.
Be nice going into the Coors Open Kevin Gobrecht Memorial Race as the champion of 2002.
Yep. Thank you.
And good luck next year on wherever you may wind up.
That's right.
Hope you can stay with this deal and
Yep.
everything works great and back in victory lane again.
Right.
Tim, keep Dad in line there. Keep him fixed up as much as you can. We'll be seeing you up there at Trailways, I'm sure, on your quad running around. Keep up the good work up there. I'm sure they appreciate it, as well as the other drivers too.
Yep.
And that's one difference about these that we should have brought up, and I'm backtracking here. 250s need push started,
Yeah.
and the 600s are self-starting.
Yep, self-starting, and these have to be push started, so we need four-wheelers.
So you need the four-wheelers. You guys do a heck of a job out there with keeping the programs going and getting these guys out in the track as fast as they can so they can get out and do their job. So once again, Brad and Tim, thanks for making the trip up from Westminster, Maryland. Good luck in the future. And folks, don't forget, big Labor Day weekend. Get out Friday night, Williams Grove. Get out Friday night, the Trailways. Come up and watch the 250s run, as well as the Thunder Cars and the Street Stocks. Saturday night, everybody's running. Sunday night, a couple more tracks are running. Monday night, 2 more shows. Plenty of racing going on this weekend, folks. Kick back, Labor Day weekend. Enjoy the end of summer because it's not too far away that racing season is going to be buttoned up here. So it's time to get it and growl while you can. Wintertime's coming. It's going to be a long winter. But right now we're going to concentrate on the long weekend. So, folks, we'll be back here next week live on Race Night with another great program. We'll be recapping this long Labor Day weekend. So we will see you back here next weekend if I don't see you before at the races. Good night, everybody.